everyone, it's Madison and welcome to another video. So today I'll be going over my Bookoplathon TBR and rolling all of my rolls for the game. Bookoplathon is hosted by Becca in the books. Every month Becca has this TBR game that she does, which is Bookopoly. She basically uses the game Monopoly to choose her TBR, and she made a whole custom board for it, and she even made printable boards for the September Bookoplathon. I'm really excited for all of the rolls and to see what I get, and I've never played a real TBR game like this, so I'm excited to see how it turns out. Okay, so I will be starting. I don't really know how to do this, but I will be using this little dude. Yeah, this guy's a little 3D printed dog that I made, like in 7th grade or something. I guess I'll get started. I got the 2 die right here, and even though you won't be able to see my roll, I'll be truthful about it, I won't cheat. Okay, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, a TBR veteran. Normally when I pick up books from my TBR, they're newer books that have come out in the past couple years, and I actually started my Goodreads account where I keep track of all my TBR books in 2018, so I have a lot of books there that I want to read. The first book on my TBR list is Looking for Alaska by John Green. I know this book is really popular in the YA community. I know it's gotten either a movie or a TV adaptation. I don't really know that much about this book, and you'd think that since this book has been on my TBR the longest, I should know a little bit about this, but I actually don't. The only exposure that I've had to this book is from my friends, and they've read the book and said that it is amazing, so I'm kind of going into this book blind based off other John Green stories. I actually haven't read any John Green. Going off of my current assumption on his writing style, I think this is going to be a coming of age book that may have some sad parts in it as well. Oops, that one all over the place, and it knocked my dog out of the way, but the other one, I'm not even moving it at all. It's a 3, so 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Disability rep. I have the perfect book for this. I don't really know that many books that have disability representation, but the first book that comes to mind is actually A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. The main character in this book has cerebral palsy, and it's really interesting to see a heroine in a fantasy story have this kind of disability. I've actually read the first book in the series, A Curse So Dark and Lonely, so I'm super excited to pick up the sequel, A Heart So Fierce and Broken. This book is kind of like a modern retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but there are also some historical elements as well. There's this weird fantasy realm that the main character, Harper, is transported to. I don't really know or remember that many of the details from this world, so I'm excited to jump back into it and learn more about the crazy adventure and how they're trying to save their kingdom. Seven once again. Young adult. So obviously, I am a big YA reader. I love young adult books. I have so many on my bookshelf, so I decided to pick a book that I already own, and it's actually a book that I bought really recently, like a couple days ago. That book is The Renegades by Marissa Meyer. Marissa Meyer is the author of the Lunar Chronicles series, which is one of my favorite series of all time. You can check out that video down below, and I'll also link it in the cards either here or here. The Lunar Chronicles, I love that, and hopefully I'll love this series as well. I'm just reading the back of the book right now. So this says that renegades are humans with extraordinary abilities. As the world is being destroyed, they remain a symbol of hope and courage to everyone, except the villains they once overthrew. So this sounds like an interesting futuristic book, and it also may involve some rebuilding of a world. It seems like a nice sci-fi book that is also dystopia, futuristic. I remember loving those books when I first got into reading, like The Uglies, then obviously The Hunger Games and Divergent. Those are all futuristic dystopia books. Hopefully I'll like this one as well. 7 once again. Okay, well, that's great. I've gotten 7 3 times in a row. 1, 2, 3. Own voices.
Before I landed on this spot, I had no idea what own voices meant, so I'm so glad that I landed on this spot, and now I know the wonderful world of own voices. So own voices, it's where the author identifies the same as the protagonist in the story. So for example, in the book that I chose for this prompt, The Hate You Give, the author is a black woman and the protagonist in the story is also a black woman, or a black teen. In the story, in The Hate You Give, you probably already know what it's about, but I didn't before I picked this book. I knew it was very popular, and especially popular now with the Black Lives Matter movement. A black teen named Star is torn between her two worlds, the poor neighborhood where she lives and the fancy prep school where she goes to school. Star witnesses the shooting of her childhood best friend at the hands of a police officer. This book is obviously very timely right now, and it has been for the past couple of months and years. I think this will just be a great experience for me to read a book from the perspective of a black female author, especially during times like these when we need to understand how others are feeling and how to make change in the world.
This will be my last roll today unless I get doubles, so that's 6 and that is 2, so I move 8 spaces. Community shelf. That's the prompt that I got. I guess that's all the books I'm going to read right now. I think I'm going to have these 5 books on my TBR and then just see how it goes from there.
So for the community shelf cards, all I really did was write down a bunch of prompts. I actually went to the TBR Machine website. If you don't know what it is, I'll link her channel right here, or down below. I'm not that good of coming up with reading prompts, so I just went to that website and it gave me a bunch of good prompts to write down on my community shelf cards. The Hate You Give is actually an award-winning book, but I wanted to pick a completely separate book from that just so that I don't have a double prompt. I like a book that fulfills 2 prompts. I want to have a book that fulfills each prompt. And for this prompt, I chose The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. From what I know, this book has been made into a movie. I think this book is in dual perspectives, one from a girl and the other from a boy. The girl's parents are about to be deported to Jamaica, and then the boy, he is struggling to follow his parents' ideals and he wants to be his own person. This book is a contemporary romance, so I think at some point in the book, those two are going to come together. I'm not really a person that reads a lot of contemporary young adult books, so I'll be excited to read this and possibly get more into the genre that I don't read that often. So those are the 5 books that I'm planning to read once Bookoplathon starts. I will most likely roll more times just because in the past I've read over 10 books each month, and today I only did 5 rolls. I will most definitely add on more books, but for now, this is my TBR. Just a quick recap on everything that I chose. Looking for Alaska by John Green, A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmerer, The Renegades by Marissa Meyer, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, and The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I know that I have a lot of books checked out and on hold at my library at the moment. Maybe I'll try and fit those books into my rolls. For now, these are the 5 books that I'm sticking with. I hope to read them sometime during the month of September. I may space them out and read more books in between. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I will definitely get to these books sometime within the month. So that is it for my video today. I hope you liked it, and if you want to check out Becca in the Books channel, the link will be down below, and also her video explaining Bookoplathon will also be linked down below. It is a really fun game, and I really hope you join in as well. I have a feeling that this will be a really fun readathon. I've never done a month-long readathon before. I've done the Reading Rush and then a couple of my own 24-hour readathons. Never a readathon that lasts a whole month. So I'm really excited for this challenge. Hopefully I can read a lot of good books. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. That would mean a lot to me, and also give this video a thumbs up. Please do that, and then I'll see you in the next video.